there was a shooting at my school like a month ago. It happened on October 6th, and right now it is November 11th, AliExpress sale day. But, first of all I should say that I'm going to be talking about this whole event pretty casually, but, it's because, like, the outcome was, like, good for the circumstances. Like, nobody died, so, like, it wasn't good, but, like, it wasn't as bad as it could have been at all. It could have been so much worse, because it wasn't a situation where, like, you normally would hear about, or it's like there's just a guy going around and, like, just trying to get as many people as possible. Like, he had one target, and, you know, not to be rude to the guy, but, you know, not the best at aiming. He's kind of just, he shot so many times. It was like something like 11 or something. So he hit other people too, but so it wasn't a good situation. Is not what I'm trying to say. But and then also just real quick is like this. I got a new camera, and I think I'm gonna see. I missed the Best Buy return window because I'm stupid, but I think I'm gonna sell it because it just pisses me off. First of all, it's like there's like no ports in it, so I can't plug in an external microphone, and I also can't plug in a monitor, so sometimes it just shuts off, like for no reason, and I can't see that it has shut off. But I think it like automatically shuts off after 12 minutes, so I have a stopwatch going, and I'm probably gonna cut off awkwardly at some point because I'm probably gonna, you know, I'm just gonna have to look down and I'm gonna be in the middle of my sentence and it's gonna be at 12 minutes. But, so I guess what I want to do, and also, you know, I don't have an external microphone, so yeah, I need to take this thing back. Well, I can't take it back. Why am I more upset about this than the fact that, okay. But, in this video, I just kind of want to, like, go over, you know, what I had going on, because I've already, like, forgotten. Like, I feel like immediately after the situation was done, I already had forgotten, like, what was going on. Like, internally, like, I already forgot, like, my mentality throughout the whole thing, you know? I assume that's some type of trauma response, you know? Like, your brain is just like, anyway! But, so, yeah. So I want to just talk about, you know, what I had going on, and then I want to talk about what actually was going on, because, you know, there was all this extra context to the event happening that we at the time didn't know. So, and then afterward I'm going to talk about, like, you know, we have all these procedures at school and whatever that they, like, oh, in case of this type of situation, this is what we're going to do, and it's like, now that I've been through it, I'm like, what the hell is this? Already, like, we would hear about these things and be like, okay, that's stupid, like, why is their method of protecting yourself from a shooter is to just pretend that nobody is in the school? Like the shooter's gonna show up. He's gonna be like, oh, I guess there's just nobody here on Tuesday at 10 a.m. Like, no, they know. They know there's people in there. I don't know why their goal is like, y'all just hide and turn off the lights. They won't know you're there. Like, yes they will, but, there's even more things that are even dumber than that, that we do. But, also, yeah, here's my school ID, so don't even play. I was there, okay? It was at Timberview, I didn't even say that. But, yeah. So, yeah, we're already at 4 minutes. Great job, me. And I've said nothing about anything. So basically, it happened at 9:15 a.m., which is second period. Second period starts at 9 a.m. So we were in there, it was my government class, and we had done like one assignment, and we were just working on our own. So like the teacher wasn't lecturing at the time or anything. And we heard all this noise upstairs, and we were like, what was that? Oh yeah, because I didn't even explain the floor plan, but we were on the first floor, and it happened on the second floor, like a couple classrooms over from us, and then the stairs are right there, and there's a door at the end of the hallway on the first floor, obviously. So, like, we heard all it happen upstairs, and, like, we heard the gunshots and stuff. We were just kind of like, okay, because I don't think that we knew that that's what it was. Because we're not thinking that's what it's going to be. And, you know, it's not uncommon for there to just be some, like, loud noises going on. So, we were like, okay, but then we heard all these people screaming, and then everyone who was, like, in the classroom or in that hallway just walking around, like, all ran down the stairs at once. It was like, they're all tripping over each other probably because it was loud as hell, and then they all ran out the door. Because, you know, now we know that there was, like, a window of time of the guy shooting that, like, they were able to leave, without, like, you know, but, so, like, when the people are running down the stairs, we're kind of like, I remember someone was like, oh, Stampede, like, what's up? But then our teacher went to the door to look out the little, like, window in there, and he's like, y'all get down! And we're like, oh. Oh. So that's what's going on. So we all, very, very quickly, you know, ran to the corner, we all got down, he turns on the lights, and he's just kind of standing by the door over there. And so we're all sitting there and we're all like this, like in the corner, you know, opposite the door. And, like, we're hearing other classes around us kind of just carrying on. And I remember I was like, well, actually, I do remember this part. Because I remember I was sitting there and I was just like, y'all, like, they don't even know. Like, they don't even know. Like, help them, somebody go tell them, like, right now. And then probably, like, 5 minutes later, they come on the announcements and they're like, lockdown. Y'all are a little late. But, so, especially whenever they came on the announcements and said lockdown, it was like, okay. So again, like, another reminder that is what's going on. Like, yes, there is somebody in the school. What are they doing? I don't know. Like, are they going, you know, how many people have they got by now? Like, are they just going indiscriminate? Do they have a list? Like, I don't know what's happening. And, you know, I don't think that at this point, I hadn't, like, really, gotten it, you know? But, so then there was this girl next to me who had her Apple Watch, and she was, like, getting messages from people who, like, were up there, I guess, because there was a lot of witnesses, you know, that did get out. So, I assume that this is where she's getting this information. So, and I mean, her information was correct, so, but she's like, oh, blah, blah, blah got shot, blah, blah, blah got shot, and, like, whenever she said this, I was like, that was when that's when it clicked. That's when I'm sitting there and I'm like, oh, okay, it's a wrap. We're done. Yeah. And I'm just like, I'm trying to think about where is everybody I know right now, like, were any of them up there? Honestly, I don't know, like, I didn't know what classroom it happened in. I just know it happened upstairs, and I'm trying to, you know, and I'm just, like, praying, you know, it's like, I'm not even religious or anything, but I'm just sitting there and I'm like, please let him have gotten down, like, have someone have taken him down by now, like, I'm trying to think, like, there's no way he's still going around by now, there's no way he's still, like, okay, so there's our first reset, a little awkward, but, so, yeah, and then, at some point, because this period of time that we were in lockdown lasted from 9:15 to 10 a.m., so, and there was, like, they never came on the announcements or anything to, like, tell us what was happening, or, like, anything of that sort, so we were really thinking that it was going on for the whole time, basically, and I remember at one point, I have no concept of what time any of this really happened at, but at one point our teacher told us, like, oh, they're looking for him right now or something, and so I don't know how he knew this information, but, and then, like, we heard footsteps in the hallway, and, like, whenever I heard these footsteps, I was like, oh, okay, this is where it ends, y'all. This is it. This is it. Like, the fear I felt in that moment of hearing the footsteps, it was bad. It was bad. I'm sitting there and I'm like, okay. We had a good run. Well, did we? I don't know. Like, and then I heard like a walkie-talkie sound, and I was like, okay, like, it's like the police or something. We're good. But, oh my god. And then I don't even know, the police were walking around for a while. I have no concept of really time. And then the teacher told us at some point, like, oh, if the police come in, like, they will announce themselves, and then they will have a key, so they can just come in. Like, so if somebody says police, and then they don't open the door, it's not the police. And I'm like, there's a possibility it's not gonna be the police? Oh no. But, no, they just came in and they were like, Wellington PD! And they had these long-ass guns. This was at 10 a.m. They had these, I don't know what type of gun this is. This is the long ones, and it has the flashlight on the end. And they're like looking around, and they're like, put your hands up, whatever. Oh, another thing that happened a little bit before this. It was dressed like an old person day, like Spirit Week. Spirit Week day at our school. So the girl with the Apple Watch had like a cane, and like she picked up the cane or something whenever we heard the police coming around, and we were all like, no, because it was like, are they gonna just shoot her? Like, I don't know, but anyway. Yeah, they came in and we all put our hands up. So they come in and they're basically just like, I don't know, there's like 2 officers or something. And they're like, okay, like, I guess everything's good in here. That's not what they said, but that's what they said. They're like, okay, basically we're gonna come back in, like, we're kind of just checking all the rooms right now. But like, the situation is like under control. So y'all can be like up and moving around now, but we're gonna come back and get y'all, and we're gonna take you to like another location for your parents to come get you. And we're like, okay. And then they left, and immediately we all get up and we're all joking around with each other, like, no, it actually kind of sucked because I don't know anybody in this class. So I'm not joking around with anyone. I'm just sitting there like, like, inserting myself into the conversation. But so because at this point, we didn't know what was happening. We didn't know like what had actually happened. So like, we all just like, someone would say something, we'd all laugh, and then like someone would be like, we would have like a slight moment of realization of the situation, and then we would go back to laughing. But yeah, because someone would be like, now where was ROTC at? And we'd all be like, and someone would be like, now what if they die? Like, and we'd be like, oh, but where were they at? And then we start laughing again. But that kind of just kept happening. And then our teacher, I guess he's a pastor too, because he didn't start preaching or anything, but he was just like, and y'all like just prepare yourself for what y'all might be hearing in the next few days, because like you might really find out that that people might be gone. And we're like, for real. He's like, but y'all remember I'm a pastor, I'm here to talk to y'all. And we're just like, he went straight pastor mode. It's been like 10 minutes since the police came. So it's like 10 a.m. I have the text message that I sent was at like 10:04. So, we could get up, we could be on our phone and everything. So, I texted my mom. My mom is asleep. I know she's mad. I know she's mad that she was asleep. But my dad was at work, so I texted him and I was like, Dad, I'm okay. And he just sent me thumbs up emoji. And I was like, he was like, is there a reason that you wouldn't be okay? And I was like, okay, glad he followed up, but I was like, yeah, here's what happened, of what I know so far. And he was like, oh my god, you need me to come get you? And I was just like, no, they're gonna take us somewhere else, and I don't know when that's gonna be, so, like, you can't come to the school. It's closed. He's like, okay, like, I'm gonna come home. I'm gonna go home now, because, you know, I don't know if your mom will wake up by the time that she needs to come get you. So, but they have shut down all the roads out of here. It took him a long time to get home, but, yeah, later he was telling me, which I thought was kind of funny, but, he's telling me that, like, he was trying to be listening to the radio of anyone who was talking about what happened, when he was driving home. And, like, the normal radio news people, I guess, that he listens to, talked about it, like, briefly, but he wanted to be hearing about it the whole time, so he just went to some, like, he was just looking around for these other people. And there was, like, one station that was covering it continuously, but they kept being like, oh, and y'all wanted to defund the police. And now look, yeah, we kind of needed the police to be funded. And I just think that's so hilarious, because it's the same people who are like, y'all can't be defunding the police, that are the same people that are like, y'all, we need to have guns though, don't even try and regulate that. It's like, bestie. Start at the beginning of the situation. The cops wouldn't have actually needed to intervene had it not happened in the first place. But, and did they even intervene? They got there way after the fact. That's the problem with police, okay? Is that they can't be there when it happens, because guess what? There are police at the school at all times. There's 2 officers that are always on campus. Y'all, what did that help? Nothing. But anyway, so yeah, I guess my dad's coming home. I text my brother, he didn't text me till like noon. He was at work. I'm not mad about it, I just thought it was funny. Then I'm like, bestie, there was a shooting at my school, and then 4 hours, that's 2 hours later, great math. He's like, oh, for real, that sucks. I don't remember what he said. I think he said, oh my god, let me look. It's like, he never texts me, so it's gonna be like the last text message he sent to me. Yeah, I had to scroll down quite a few names. Oh. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah, at 10:04 a.m. I said, want to let you know that our school literally got shot up for real, but I'm okay. And he says at 12:18, oh my god. No, this is so funny. Okay, sorry. I said, we are on a bus now, moving to another location to get picked up. They haven't caught the guy yet, apparently. He says, that's crazy. He does not care. Anyway, my mom woke up at some point, and I had just sent her like, Mom, I'm okay, at 10:04. No follow-up, because I was like, oh, she's probably asleep. And then she's like, oh, what happened? And I was like, well, basically. And then she called me, and she was like, what? Oh my god! And I was like, Bessie, the moment has passed for me. You can't be calling me like... No, I actually started crying when I got on the phone with her. I don't know. Well, I didn't like burst into tears. But I was just kind of like, and then, but I don't know, anyway. Because at this point, we knew who had done it. Because he was just some guy who went to our school, so it's not like people didn't know who he was. And also, like, there was a whole bunch of witnesses, so it's not like nobody saw this dude, like, yeah. And then, actually, as soon as we figured out who it was, there was some people in our class that knew him. And they were like, oh yeah! Because, yeah, I'm sure, you know, he was into some shady stuff, I don't know, you know, he's a drug dealer, so, like, I don't know, bestie. So we're all like, oh, okay. Because, I mean, a lot of us didn't know him. He was apparently, I don't know if he was a sophomore or a junior, but he was, you know, he had been held back at least once because he was 18. I didn't know him, but I know more people than I thought I did that knew him. Oh, let me get my stopwatch back up. My bad. And then, so, like, we knew who it was, and then, you know, we knew who had gotten shot before. Like, whenever that girl was reading her Apple Watch. So the teacher who got shot, he was an English teacher, and we actually kind of we all kind of thought that he was dead. Like, that was what we were all thinking, because basically, like, the people who were in his class, he went out of his class, and then, like, the shooting happened, and he didn't come back. So they're like, oh, for real. So that was just what people thought. But he's alive, but he got shot in the back, and his lung collapsed. At least one. Maybe it was both. I don't know exactly, but his lung collapsed, and apparently it narrowly missed his aorta. So, you know, it was kind of miraculous that he is okay. Truly. And you know, like, imagine you just come to work and you get shot. Whoa! And you're not even like like in the military or something. Like, you're just an English teacher? Whoa. And then, yeah, and then the guy who like the target of the shooting was, he got shot 4 times. And he is also alive. And he was released from the hospital, I don't know when, like, I don't know. It was like a couple weeks at least after it happened, but yeah. I feel like God intervened on that one. I mean, a little late. But he was like, no, you gotta see this one through. So that's good. And then, so we are like, we've honestly pretty much figured out like what happened by the time that the police came back at probably like 11 something. Well, clearly I was on the bus while my brother was texting me at 12:18, so it was a while before we actually got on a bus. But yeah, so we had basically pieced together what happened, because it was like before the shooting took place, he was actually, the shooter was getting beat up by the target, right? And so we also knew who the guy was who got shot, and it was like basically the shooter, you know, was a drug dealer, right? So he had like scammed the guy who was beating him up, older brother, and so, you know. So that's pretty much the setup. And then actually, the fight, it was really, not so much a fight as, he was actually really just getting beat up, but, like, it had already been broken up by the time that he, like, went back, because, you know, they broke him up, and they're like, whoa, y'all, stop. And then, you know, he goes back to his backpack to pull it out, so, you know, it was over and done with. But, you know, you get mad, I guess. Obviously, I mean, you're getting beat up, I guess you're gonna get mad. But, you know, he brought the gun to school. So, I'm sure with the whole situation, there was probably, like, threats going on, whatever. But actually, you know, well, I guess this is alleged, but, you know, we shall see. I might go to this court case. But, I was hearing from people who knew him, like, oh, no, like, he just had a gun, like, regularly. So, I don't even know, like, if he, I mean, I assume he was planning for this kind of thing to happen today, but I don't know on that kind of level. I just know the general story. But yeah. But then, like, the period of time from, so yeah, basically, so whenever the police came back, at whatever, 11 something, they come in there and they're like, okay, so we're gonna take you out to the Performing Arts Center, and so y'all, you can't take any of your stuff. You can take your phone though, because they have to tell you, you know, your parents that we're going to the Performing Arts Center. So then we go, and then we're like walking down the hallway, gotta have our hands behind our head. And there are so many officers in the school. It was crazy. Everybody is here. It's like, oh my gosh. It was kind of, and why were all the lights off? Why did they turn all the lights off? I don't know, but all the lights are off, and there's like 1 million officers in here. And then, like, whenever we got on the bus and were leaving, we saw like all these police cars, and they were all from all these different police departments across the general area. So, like, I don't know how many people were in there, but they're all suited up and whatever. They got their, whatever, long guns. And I'm like, oh, that was bad. I didn't like that. I was like, oh my gosh, there's like a million guys with guns in the high school. Like, oh my god. And this is a general thing that has always been happening to me. But it's like literally every single year of school is like something crazy has happened since like 6th grade. And it's like, how does it always happen when I'm there? Why can't it happen the year after I leave? Because I'm about to be gone. In December I graduate. You couldn't have waited a few months, like, oh my god. It's a little, so anyway, then when we're at the Performing Arts Center, we're walking in and they're like, oh, there's some people there and they're like, oh, grab a lunch, baby. Those nice, why are teachers who give out, and lunch ladies who give out lunch so nice? Like, what's up with that? It just attracts a certain type of person, I guess. But anyway, I was like, ooh, we were just in a very terrible situation. Let's see what we're eating. School pizza. Help! They hate us. I was like, y'all couldn't have even stopped by Jersey Mike's. I don't know why I said Jersey Mike's, but that was a little bit rude. But yeah, what else? I mean, this part was kind of just annoying because it was like, the way it was set up was that your parent, all the parents came like at once. So first of all, getting into the school as a parent was kind of issue. I mean the Performing Arts Center, because there was just so many people trying to come in at once. And then they had to stand in this line, and then they had to go and verify their information to prove that they're your parents. And so it took forever. I got home at like 4:45. So and I even got a little earlier because basically my friend's mom was like ahead of my parents in line, so she just took me home. But like I mean my parents had been there, like then it would have been another hour. So, ooh, it was bad. And then my mom was saying like that she saw 5 people like have heat stroke outside, and the medics had to keep coming. Like, it was just badly managed. But I mean, I don't know what else they were gonna do. But like, ooh. And then, right, so basically the shooter, he shot, and then he ran out the building and drove away. In his 2018, wait, or was it 2019? I forgot. I think it's 2018. Dodge Charger. Whoa, rich people things. Yeah, so basically by the time they called lockdown, like the whole event was already done. So, great job. I mean, they didn't know that the whole event was done. Well, yes they did. They saw him leave. People saw him leave, so I don't even know. But anyway. But that was basically that, So, but he turned himself in with his attorney bestie. He was prepared the same day. It was at like 3 or something that he turned himself in with his criminal attorney. I was like, damn, he was prepared. I don't know. I don't know. I don't want to say nothing about him because, I mean, I understand kind of what he did. But it was like, not the time or place. Get a hold of yourself. Like, But that's like what everybody was saying afterwards. They were just like, he should have just taken the L. Like, you're just getting beat up, you're just gonna have to get beat up. And move on. This was a whole nother level that you escalated it to. But, I don't know. I mean, the whole situation is just not great. But, basically, I think I'm a little bit more mad at him than I would have been. Because afterwards, like, immediately, his family was already on the news. Like, y'all, he was bullied. He was bullied. He was misunderstood. And it was like, whoa! You can't lie like that. Like, but basically, at the time, you know, it was actually really bad whenever, like, all of us from the school would go on social media or go on the news. Not really the news so much, but especially social media. And if you look at any, because we were trending on Twitter, we were like number 2 or something. And everything, to see all the tweets about it, be like in support of the guy who like 3 hours ago just like shot in your school, like, whoa. Because they're all like, y'all, he was bullied, he just acted in self-defense. And it was like, y'all literally know 2 pieces of information. Can y'all chill out before you start making the tweets? Because all these people knew at the time is that he was getting beat up beforehand because it was on video. World star, you know, like, grow up, y'all. But, and then, that his mom said he was bullied. So they were like, oh yeah, for real. That seems like the story. Y'all really were missing a lot of information. And it was just so, it actually, like, it was making me be shaking and crying. And, like, I was texting all these people from Timberview, and I'm like, yo, what the hell? And they're all texting back, and they're like, yeah, what the hell? Like, we know damn well that's not the truth. And yeah, because it was just so terrible to just like everything on social media about it was just that, was just people like, y'all free him. And it's like, it has been a matter of hours. Please refrain. But and then it was like people from Timberview like in the comments being like, y'all please stop. It was a lot, honestly. It was really bad. And then, so like, then I guess, I don't know, it was in the next week, Arlington Police Department made a statement. They're like, y'all, we found absolutely no evidence of bullying, but you know what we did find evidence of? And it was like, oh, you're not gonna get away with that excuse, I guess. We kind of thought he was. Oh, and then like, he got bailed out like the day of. It was crazy. Like, all the people who got shot were still in the hospital for like several more days, and he's already bailed out. It was crazy. And he had a little welcome home party. I don't know. I mean, I understand, like, I understand getting bailed out and everything, but it's just like, it was so much to just like in that short period of time to just have all that go on. I was like, can you give us like a few minutes? But yeah, that was basically the event. And then we didn't have to go to school the next day. So I was kind of like, party in the USA. But yeah, we were missing a lot of school at Timberview. You know what, today was a school day and I just didn't go. Because I was like, Mom, can I just have one day, for real? And she was like, yeah. I was like, we won. Because school is so bad for me. It's really like, and it's not even because of the shooting. Because honestly, nobody even like acknowledges that it happened anymore. It's crazy. Even like the day we went back to school. Why did only one of my teachers even acknowledge that it occurred in the first place? What was that? I'm like, were y'all not there? It was literally like 3 days ago. And everyone's already like, anyway, so we're going to be learning about the demand curve and the supply curve, and it's like, now hold on, just a minute. Actually, I don't think we did anything in economics. For sure we did some stuff in aquatic science, bestie. I was like, damn, we had like 4 assignments. It's like, give us a break, please. But yeah, at Timberview we also missed a day, like, a few weeks before, because the power just went out in the school. We were getting a lot of days off. And then we get another day off. I think it's just our school next Tuesday. I'm sitting here like, whoa. See, I feel like God was kind of intervening for me too. He's like, bestie, I know you hate going. Because it's just like, I know literally like 4 people in the entire school. Now I'm on a personal story. But I know like 4 people in the whole school, and I see like 2 of them. So I just like, I hate it there. I hate it there so much. Every day I wake up and I'm like, don't send me back to that place! And then the whole time I'm there, I'm just like, it's bad. Anyway. But then, so I guess that's basically what happened. So then I want to talk about like the aftermath. What did they do afterwards? So for the next like 2 days, it was actually really funny. Like they only kept this up for 2 days. And and they just had like police in the school. And oh yeah, I think this was other schools came and did this. They like decorated the whole like cafeteria. They had all these little sticky notes that are like, "You are loved, you are appreciated." I just thought that I was like, I know what they're going for. It's just like this really does not apply to the situation. But yeah. So that was that. And then they were like, "Y'all, we gotta crack down on IDs. You gotta be wearing your ID in the building. Like, everyone's gotta be having an ID. I think you've all learned from this event that it's really important that you always be wearing your ID." And I'm like, y'all, the guy who did it went to our school. He also had an ID. I don't really know. And it was like, even whenever we went to the Performing Arts Center, we had to go to the cops and like show, if we had our ID, we had to show them our ID. And if you didn't have your ID, then you simply had to just show them your phone with your like student page on it. So like, did anyone need an ID ever? No. I mean, I still wear mine every day because, y'all, look at that. I've got a little Chihaya on there. I got a Hibiki that I made. And I got a Scooby-Doo keychain. And I got an Asusa, like... See, this is why I only know 4 people. It's me, I'm the problem. But, I mean, obviously, but... Yeah... So, yeah, they're like, let's crack down on IDs, and then the other thing that they were like, let's crack down on this was, people, like, being in the hallway during class. It's like, now you can't go to the bathroom in the first 15 or the last 15 minutes of class, and you have to, like, have a whole pass written up. Most of the time, they were just like, okay, go. But now they're like, you gotta write the date, the time, the teacher gotta write you a pass to go out the hallway for what, like 5 minutes and come back? So, that was their takeaway. And then this, I kind of feel like they're lying about this. Because I have never seen this happen. So I'm like, is this real? But they're like, y'all, we're gonna start doing random metal detector screenings. I have never once seen this happen. Which, I'm not inviting it to happen, I don't really want it to happen. But, but I'm like, did they lie? Because, yeah, I've never heard of anyone getting randomly searched, so don't know what that's about, but anyway. And then, what else did they do? Oh, I thought this was funny. So basically, like, the day that we came back, or was it the day after? I think it was the day after. They had therapy dogs in the library. So, like, that was nice. I'm allergic to dogs, so I didn't go. But, and then the day after that, they had the drug dogs in there. I was like, oh my gosh. They switched up very quickly. Yeah, I mean, I guess they just are probably being more strict about drugs at school since the event involved drugs pretty heavily. So, I guess they're going to be cracking down on that. I don't know if they are, though. Again, is anyone doing anything? I don't really know, actually. But then, yeah, so I guess I'll talk about, like, stupid procedures that we're doing, or, like, so what they really need to teach you to do, I think, in this type of situation, is to barricade the door. Why, again, I already said this, but why is the approach always, y'all, just get in the corner and turn off the lights, and then they won't even know anyone's in here, and if they come in, they won't be able to see you. Y'all, here's what happens. Shooter comes in, turns on the lights because the light switch is right freaking there. The lights being off means nothing. And they're like, y'all be quiet. Yeah, I mean, mostly, and then, like, the fact that we didn't really want to be on our phones because it's like, oh, it's producing light. Yeah, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. And, yeah, if it's, like, dangerous to be barricading the door, then it's dangerous to be in the room, period. Because guess what? If you go by the door, and, like, the shooter's there, guess what? Then he can also just come in. So, doesn't matter. Yeah, and then, like, it's the fact that at no point during the situation did they come on the announcements and give us any type of update about what was happening. Because we're thinking for that whole time Like, oh, he's going around, probably a lot of people are getting shot, probably a lot of people are already dead. That's what we're thinking. Why did, like, at some point they must have already figured out what was going on. Why did they not come on the announcements and say, like, y'all, here's exactly what is happening? Why did they not do that? It kind of pissed me off. We're all sitting there scared as hell, thinking we're gonna die. Or thinking that a bunch of other people are already dead. Okay, and y'all aren't even gonna say anything? Hello? I know you can use that little speaker system. Oh, you know what? Oh, they changed it back, but this was actually so funny. The day that we came back to school, they had changed the bell sound. Like, you know, like the sound that comes on when it's the end of class, and it's like, me, you know, they changed it. And I was like, was that the problem? They're like, y'all, the bell is what caused it. Why did they change the bell? I don't know, but they changed it back. But I thought that was extraordinarily hilarious. Because it really was. Why did they change the bell? But it was actually funny. While we were in the lockdown, the bell was still going off. And we were like, y'all, nobody is going to third period. Like, oh no. And then also, hilariously, we got an email, like, at 9 something. That was like, FAFSA help nights! And then the, email that had come in before that was, active shooter situation at Timberview. And I was like, they should have, who sent the FAFSA help nights? Read the room! Oh my god. But, oh. Yeah, I don't know. And then, like, the whole situation of after the fact. Of us just, like, waiting in the Performing Arts Center for several hours. What was the point of that? Giving all these people a heat stroke. Because guess what? It's Texas. It's like 1,000,000 degrees outside. Unless it's negative 1,000,000 degrees in, see, again. Why is, like, it's crazy. Like, all the events that have happened in the past 2 years that have been, like, prolific events have all been terrible. What's up? What's going on? It's like, will it ever get better? I don't know. But also, oh, you know what? But yeah, the event was never really, like, addressed by any of my teachers except for the one whose class that we were in at the time. It's crazy. And that guy is, like, I don't like him because he's always spreading his little anti-vaxxer propaganda. It's crazy. Actually, he should be fired. But yeah, it's government, right? So he was like, alright, y'all, let's talk about Plessy versus Ferguson. And we're like, okay. And he's like, oh yeah, that's crazy, that's terrible, isn't it? That's like the worst thing that the Supreme Court has ever done. What the hell? And we're like, yeah, for real. And then he's like, okay, you know what this is just like? How they're segregating the anti-vaxxers from the vaccinated people. It's just like that. And I was like, oh, I'm gonna have to go. I really wish I could have just walked out. But no, I just sat there and I was like, nobody said anything. There used to be this guy who would, like, argue with him, but he dropped out after the shooting, and I'm like, dang, when we needed him the most, he disappeared. But yeah, actually one of my friends, her parents, like, pulled her out of school because of the shooting, so, y'all, it was not great. I still go against my will! But, yeah, it was kind of funny, actually. The bell, y'all better be wearing your IDs. Who cares? None of this is important. And then, like, the way that they had the police at our school, they're like, y'all, we've got these 2 police at our school to always, you know, be doing something. That's not going to do anything. And, like, honestly, yeah, there's no way that you can really prevent this. Because unless, you know, I think it's so stupid that we always go about this. Where it's like, no, how can we make these places that shootings happen in safer? Like, why are we there? Why aren't we like, y'all, how do we stop people from shooting a bunch of people up? Like, why do we start at what do we do when it's already happening? When it's already happening, it's a wrap. Like, it's done. Unless somebody tackles this dude and beats him the hell up, like, it's over. What is anyone gonna do? So, yeah, I really wish that they had just canceled school forever because I hate it there. So I just wanted to come right back quick and just say, because I forgot to mention this the first time, but this was actually just a couple of days ago, I did, and I did have a little PTSD moment. So maybe I am affected on a deep level, but because basically we were in government, and then there was like, I don't know what this was, but somebody like banged on the door from outside, and I was like, it's happening again! And I was like, we gotta go, because he's right there this time. It's done! But it was nothing. But like, and then I think everybody in my class had the same kind of reaction, because we were all like, whoa! So yeah, whoever did that, you're a hater. Anyway, and then what else was I gonna say, because I feel like I was on a train of thought, bestie. But yeah, because I thought that this event was gonna like help with my paranoia, because I'm a pretty paranoid person. I'm always just like so convinced that like I'm gonna die, and like that I'm gonna be killed, you know? That I'm walking around and I just look at a person, I'm like, oh, Bessie, they're gonna kill me. Like, they're actually gonna kidnap me and murder me. And then I believe it. So I was like, okay, hopefully I'll be like, yo, the same thing is not gonna happen twice. But alas, no, I am way more paranoid now, so I would like to say thank you. Can I sue the guy for emotional distress? I'm not going to, because, oh yeah, I didn't even mention this, but his parents were saying he was being bullied because he was too rich, which was actually very, very hilarious. It just, you know, it just kind of felt like they were really flexing on the victims of the shooting, which was kind of, maybe should have, like, waited a little bit before you said that. Before you went, y'all, he was bullied because he had nice things that no one else had. And it was like, okay, why are you bragging? In your defense? Let's think this one through. But, yeah, I guess maybe that's all I have to say. I'll probably come on here like a million more times to say more stuff. But I guess I would like to apologize for the lighting here. Oh, and the fan is on now. Oops. But, so I know that's loud, because I know this internal mic in this camera is not very good. Honestly, I don't think it's that much worse than like the microphone I was using before. But I literally have a new external microphone that it's like nice. And I cannot use it. Because why did the stupidest person on earth make this camera? Like, there's nothing in there. But also, yeah, it's really dark. So great job. The first video I made was like really overexposed, so I feel like we're a little return to form. But like, am I making a movie here? No, I'm making a little video in my own house. Look, I didn't even put anything on this side of the background. This stuffed animal fell over. The framing of the shot is terrible, and maybe one day I will improve. But for now, I just wanted, you know, see, when you have 0 subscribers, it's actually very nice. Because then you don't have to worry. And the reason I make YouTube videos is because once I speak about something, because I talk to myself constantly all the time, because what did I say? I literally know 4 people. So, you know, and a lot of them don't like the same things as me. So I really talk to myself constantly all the time, but once I film it, and I do a little editing, cut a few things out, and then upload it, I'm like, we're done. The subject is done, I don't need to talk about it anymore. But, honestly, I was getting mad at this camera earlier, but I did actually check to make sure, I mean, way before this, I checked to make sure that everything worked fine whenever I was doing the card. I don't know what the little formatting did on this camera. Bestie pulled through. It works. It has never worked for me before. So I would like to, everybody clap, the camera did something good. It is good at formatting SD cards. And then, yeah, the audio isn't terrible. Again, I'm not shooting a movie. We're good. You know, we're fine. So, videos I want to make in the future, like near future, I'll do it during the day this time, not at 8:48 p.m. Great job. But, I recently bought a huge lot of Idolmaster merchandise. See, can I talk about Idolmaster with anybody? Any of the 4 people I know? No. And now they're mad. And now they're all mad they don't like Idolmaster. Because I bought this giant lot of Idolmaster merchandise, and there are so many doubles. And I'm like, wow, I really wish I had someone to give these doubles to. But alas, no! So, maybe I'll just go through all my favorite things that I got. there. And then I also, at some point I need to talk about Neon Genesis. I hate Neon Genesis. It's like the worst thing that ever existed. The worst. I hate it. And everyone who likes it, I actually don't like you either. Like, if somebody ever says, I like Neon Genesis, I'm like, fundamentally, we are too different. Like, there's no way that you watched that show and weren't like, the whole time. If you didn't go, the whole time, there's something wrong with you in the brain. So I don't want to speak with you. Then I want to talk about Cardcaptor Sakura and Chobits, because those actually similar to Evangelion. What was going on there? I mean, Chobits is really bad. It's not on Neon Genesis Evangelion level, but it's kind of approaching. And then Cardcaptor Sakura, like, as a whole, do I not like it? No. But it's like, knowing that it's by the same people who made Chobits, it really does make a lot of sense. Because there's a lot of, like, moments in there where I'm like, someone needs to be in jail for this, like, actually. Like, that's not even a hyperbole, like, that's illegal, that's against the law. And this is like a children's show, and it's just, portrayed as normal, so we're gonna talk about that, Other things I just like to talk to myself about, are there any? I don't know, I might just make a video, like, on Sunday, today's Thursday, or maybe on Saturday morning, I have some time before work, maybe, about, like, Idolmaster songs that I really like, because the amount that I talk to myself about Idolmaster songs that I really like, because there are a lot. They're very good, Misty. Oh yeah, I'm going to show you something right now that I got from that Idolmaster lot. Where is it? It's literally right in front of me. You fool. I got an Idolmaster plate! Let's go! I need to get, like, one of those little plate displayer thingies, because what am I going to do with it right now? And then I also got 3 Idolmaster cups. Oh, yeah! I'm going to be later, you know, in life when I'm watching my YouTube videos back, if I ever do that, I'm going to be like, OMG, let's watch the one about when there was a shooting at my school. And then I'm going to be watching to the end and I'm going to be like, now why the hell am I just talking about this Idolmaster cup? Oh yeah, I have to go to animation class tomorrow. I hate animation class. It is so bad. It is so terrible. Maybe I should make a video about animation class, because I hate it. And it's the worst thing ever. But, and yeah, because I'm really bad at animating first of all, and then I also just don't like the class. We don't learn anything in there. There's literally, I hate going to school. I really do. I really do. This is relevant because it's at school. But there are these, like, every day, the teacher does not care. But in a way that makes me upset. Because there's like 4 people who he just every single day. It's not even like he's like, okay y'all, fun day. No. They, on the projector, he is hooking them up HDMI, and they just play like Mario Party on there, Pokken Tournament, I don't know, I've never played that game, what is it even called? The one where there's Pokemon Fight, oh, Pokemon Stadium. But what is Pokken Tournament? That's the thing, right? And Beat Saber, they got VR? And I'm like, damn, do y'all ever do any work? And I'm over here doing the worst animations known to man, and I don't feel bad about it. Because I'm like, y'all are doing nothing at all. Y'all are literally playing Mario Party for 3 hours a day in class because it's double blocked. I'm not really that mad. Well, no, I am that mad about it. I show up every day because it's a double block class. It's 3 hours. So I show up, and I just sit there, phew. But what do? No, I actually love that class a little bit because I just listen. And I have Spotify Premium for the next 2 months. Thank you, me. I'm a genius. And I just listen. Oh my gosh, it's actually so annoying. Because, basically I added, like, the whole George Michael discography to my playlist. And the amount of times that the songs on Faith repeat. I'm sitting there and I'm like, free me from this! I don't want to listen to Faith anymore! But I'm like, but I gotta, oh my gosh, why did I just forget how the song went? I hear it like 4 times every day.